No, you know how we should start it? You should have started it when I was going, I've been a woman for 2 weeks now, and I'm ready to bring the motherfucking pain. Is that when we started?
Welcome to the Truffle Shuffle Podcast, episode 18, finally legal.
Finally legal? Oh, fuck you!
Throwback to last week's episode, everybody. If you noticed...
So, somebody asked me to start the podcast with my deep, silky, smooth, gruff voice. If you're listening, you know who you are. Hit that subscribe button, motherfucker. You owe us a subscription.
Yeah.
Now let me just cough this out.
Anyways, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by Boo, the buttery...
By Batman.
Buttery voice Dylan over there. If you guys notice, there's only 2 people on the show today.
Thank God.
Yeah. We've been trying for weeks to get an episode without Clay, and finally happened.
All we had to do was set up a fake fundraiser and send him to a different state.
You know Clay would never go to a fundraiser.
Yeah, he thought it was for RC car victims.
Victims of RC car accidents.
There are so many stubbed toes in that sport.
I got... Hey, you talk shit. But last night, I was at work, and we have this ramp, and one of our buddies, Chris, he ramped his car towards my leg, and I tried to jump out of the way, and it clipped me, and I ended up going down, and he started freaking out like, "Oh, you okay?" I was like, "No, I'm good." It just threw me off balance in air.
Did it hurt like when you got hit in the shin with a Razor scooter?
Oh,
like one of those where it was painful, but it's worth it.
Is that a throwback to our first episode, or the episode that we never aired?
That's a throwback to our childhood.
Well, I mean, we talked about this before.
You gotta live in the good old days, man.
Oh, yes.
So to anyone who this might be their first time listening, or if you're a repeat listener, welcome back. This is the Truffle Shuffle Podcast, your not safe for work current event podcast.
Yeah.
So make sure you put them fucking headphones in.
Especially today's episode.
Oh, yes.
No Clay, no cock blocks.
So normally, of course, I'm Dylan. We've got Alaric over there behind the computer. And normally across from me, we have this weird-looking piece of shit named Clay. I don't know. He needs a haircut. But he decided not to join us today for... What was his reason?
I think he went out of town for something. Hold on.
Bravo. Thank you for that
keep going.
information.
I'll fill it in a second.
Oh, okay. Keep ad-libbing over here by myself? All right, well, I'm going to talk to the empty chair in front of me.
Well,
how you doing, buddy? How you doing?
It's a good thing you can finally see the TV in front of you, too.
Well, we have 2 TVs.
Clay's big old head was in the way.
We have 2 TVs in the studio because we are fancy as fuck.
Yes.
I'm looking at a TV, the big one, and it's got what you see on your screen. And then the TV to my right has... What is on that screen, Alaric? It is an animated waifu.
It is a beautiful woman. It is your anime waifu. Oh, that's gone.
Oh.
It's a shame.
Gone.
It's a darn shame.
He didn't want me looking at his backup.
Yeah, bro. Anyways, actually,
that's Jesus Christ.
If you look at your screen now, that's what's on the back of my. Ta-da! All right.
How old are you, Alaric? You have a family.
I do have a family. Anyways, Clay is...
Anyway,
Clay has a drift event because Clay drifts his cars down the river.
He says drift event. Now I never know if he means real cars or fucking RC.
This week is a real car.
Oh, it is?
He finally got his Audi, his Quattro.
Oh, his
souped
Quattro.
Up, so he's ready to go. And he's been looking forward to racing that for a little while. But, you know, it happens.
All right, well, folks, let's just jump right into these current events, shall we? Now, we'll start a little bit more lighthearted before we get into the serious shit that we were like, oh, it's going to...
Yeah, we had some pretty serious
now,
stuff.
I'll say again, not safe for work. Not safe for work, so...
If you have politically sensitive coworkers or family members, now is not the time to share the show with them.
Well, we don't even...
Unless you want to open their eyes to... other opinions.
We try, especially back in the beginning, we always tried to stay away from politics as much as we could. Now that we've switched more so just into like current events and keeping it updated and all that, you can't skip it entirely, but
we tried to avoid it so much that Clay would literally go out of his way to talk about Joe Biden, but not say Joe Biden.
You can just talk about who the president is.
He'd
It's
be
fine.
like, we would go to a gas station, you see a sticker, and there's a guy pointing.
He'd be like,
current guy in office.
He's like, there's an old guy, white hair, blue tie,
sniffs children, pointing at the gas pump, saying, "I did this."
Well, all right. So last week we had one of my favorite non-established holidays. Bam, ba, bam, bam, ba, 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 bam. May the 4th. May the 4th. And I was so happy to nerd out with all my fellow nerds. And I got on social media, and what did I see? Nothing but people bitching about the Supreme Court. And all I wanted was to have a happy little Star Wars day. And y'all ruined it. This is why I hate everybody equally. Y'all ruined my Star Wars day by bitching about the Supreme Court on, let's face it, something that hasn't even happened yet.
Well, I mean, it's a draft of the... It's actually what is happening. It's the draft of
I thought they were just bringing it up. Okay, see, I also don't research things, so
okay, hold on.
Let's see what we got. Alrighty. One moment. He is on the computer searching the World Wide Web.
Alrighty. Never mind. Apparently, I couldn't find the article.
Oh, well, that's been removed.
From a private website.
Well, all I know is that I don't think no matter what side you sit on politically, I don't think the government should get involved in telling you who can get an abortion and who can't. Because I did see a lot of posts that that made good points. It said, you can't ban abortion. You can only ban safe abortions.
We're about to get real deep.
I'm just saying, I mean, this is a current thing that is going on. Yes, it is a sensitive topic, but the more that people say, oh, you can't talk about this stuff, why? This is what's happening around us.
I am a very conflicted person on this because it is not black and white. There's a lot of gray area here. So, my personal opinion is that abortion should be outlawed.
Really?
Almost entirely.
Really?
My political opinion, because I believe in leave me the fuck alone, is one, it's not my decision. Two, it's
That's all right.
Okay, sorry. I'm trying to figure the best way to word this, because honestly, if you are willing to kill your own children, you shouldn't be a parent anyway.
Well, see, this is where we're going to differ on this thing, is because I am pro-choice. Even though it's like whenever you side one way more on politics, people think that you agree with everything that they say.
That means you lick Biden's boot, Dylan, and you want transmission fluid
we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
Transmission fluid to be drank by all civilians.
Oh, transmission. No, so people think that whenever you side one way politically that you believe with everything that they ever say and all that, and that's not true on both sides. Like, just because you're on one side don't mean that you have to follow everything. Anyway, I'm pro-choice, and I think that it's like the government should not be involved in it. However, I don't agree with some of the, I don't know if it's some of the states or if it's some of the people.
Okay, so what it is it's a states' rights issue. It never should have been a federal thing, because think of it this way. You have terrible people in all different states and everything, but I'm going to say more terrible people are in California than other places.
That's fair.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, but you can't
But everybody in California would say that terrible people are in the middle states.
Well, the thing is,
the Midwest.
is when it went to the Supreme Court the first time with Roe v. Wade, that was a terrible call, because that it's not enshrined in law. It was a thing for the legislature, and they pawned it off on the judicial branch to make a decision. And the judicial branch should have said, this is a legislative decision. You guys figure this out for yourselves. If you want to make a law on it, you make a law on it. but they tried to say it was in the Constitution, but nowhere in the Constitution does it say you can have an abortion, you can kill your child, you can your body, your rights kind of thing. Nowhere in there is that, right? But states could have made something where they could either limit it or permit it or have their own level. See?
Well, what I don't like is the ones that say you can do it like up to like 7, 8, 9 months.
Which is what I was getting
to.
So
I'm like, no. I don't like that.
So,
but at the beginning, I'm still pregnant.
my personal opinion, 100% no. But like I said, you cannot micromanage every single thing that everybody does all the time, because that makes the government bigger. 2, it's impossible. You can't do it. And 3, the idea is my more political opinion is that I believe it should be 1, it's a states' rights issue, so each state should have their own laws. 2, I personally believe the middle ground is, because the only way to get to an actual one way or another is you gotta have a middle ground. So, I've heard that, like, there's a difference. Okay. I believe life begins at conception, so it's
up,
always
folks. We're
it's
going down
always
the rabbit
a human.
hole.
It's never not a human. So it's a child. It will always become a child, right? It all depends on when you have or get rid of the child. That's whatever. I'm usually so much better at articulating
You're getting so conflicted right now.
But
a good thing.
There's a huge difference than having a very formed child that you're getting rid of, and one that kind of just looks like a ball at the moment.
Yes, at the very beginning.
But then the idea is the heartbeat. I like the heartbeat bill because the heartbeat it's
how long is it until there's a heartbearbeat on average?
I think it's 8 or 9 weeks.
So that gives you
little over 2 months,
2.5 to 3 months, which I think that's fair. Like, so I would say that's my thing is like I'm pro-choice, but I say you got to do it at the beginning, because it's like, I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't think the real problems come in until there starts being mandates for everything. Once there starts being mandates and you start telling everybody what they have to do, like the mandates are what really mess things up.
Yep.
Because whenever you start telling people what they have to do, then you're always going to split people right down the middle.
I'll tell you what, one of the funniest arguments I've seen online is from the pro-choice crowd that says, if I can't kill my baby, then you have to stay there and raise it. And I think they just invented child support.
Oh. Well, what was it? What was it that Dave Chappelle said? He did it so well. He said, if you got a dick, you got to shut the fuck up on this one. And all the ladies went crazy, and he went, hold on. and then he said, he's like, however, he's like, if the woman decides to have the baby, I don't think a man should have to pay. And then everybody laughs. He goes, because if you can kill this motherfucker, I can at least abandon him. Everybody was laughing.
Speaking of Dave Chappelle, that's a good
segue. Transition over right there.
That's a good segue.
So one of the other things that happened recently is that Dave Chappelle, go ahead and if you're not looking at your screen, because this is a podcast, go ahead and start looking at your screen. We have a video. If you haven't heard, Dave Chappelle was tackled on stage at the Hollywood Bowl. Now, Alaric, you don't know too much about this, do you?
I know that it happened.
Okay, so this is a video from the crowd. This is at the Hollywood Bowl. It was part of the Netflix's Netflix is a Joke special going on. Like, it was a multi-day event. They had tons of comedians. Chris Rock was here with him. Jamie Foxx was here with him, I believe.
So Netflix is a Joke is not a spoof? It's a real thing?
It's their advertising campaign for all the stand-up specials that they do. Because honestly, we're going to get to Netflix after this. Comedy, the stand-up specials are one of the few things that Netflix has a grip on.
That are still doing well.
That nobody else has, because all the comedy stuff goes to Netflix.
I did notice that the Amy Schumer stuff doesn't show up anymore.
Skipping right past that.
When I look up comedy on Netflix, the Amy Schumer things don't show up anymore.
It's mostly a lot of Dave Chappelle. He's definitely probably
Chappelle,
their biggest.
I think they got some Dane Cook.
I don't know about. I know they've got Bill Burr, they've got Jim Gaffigan, they've got Dave Chappelle. I would say Dave Chappelle is probably one of their biggest comedians that they have all his stuff on Netflix.
Dave Chappelle is the biggest comedian.
He's one of them for sure.
Name one that's bigger than Dave Chappelle.
Kevin Hart. I think, Kevin Hart, I think he became bigger for a bit, but Dave Chappelle has that legacy.
He has that's
going to last.
Yeah. He has the longevity.
And
he's taller than 5 foot.
Yes. So Dave Chappelle was finishing up a special at the Hollywood Bowl, and somebody rushes in. We're going to play the video in just a second. Somebody rushes in from the crowd, goes to tackle him, and then his response is hilarious. And then Chris Rock comes out, and he has a response. And all right, just go ahead and play the video, and then we'll talk about it after.
Make some noise for hip-hop history.
Ooh.
Oh, they slipping on purpose?
All right, hold up.
Thank God.
He never even went down.
That was clumsy.
Just listen to the whole thing.
He's back there getting stomped.
Damn. Is that our guy's arm?
Thank you, son. It was a trans man. Was that
Will Smith? All right, so I hope you had the audio up for that and not muted so that they could hear it. Did you?
Yes, I have.
Okay, all right. So anyway,
I love
Dave Chappelle barely even went down.
He didn't go down.
No,
Look, he never went down.
Oh, he didn't?
Yeah, he's like on one knee.
Oh,
right here.
So the guy charges him and then makes a run for it. Now, whenever you dig into it deeper, there's a lot of reports that said, the official report said that he had a fake gun.
But it was a knife.
Which is the weirdest thing ever.
Just bring a gun.
I don't know. This was at the Hollywood Bowl, and a big thing is that actually this phone, all the videos of that this happened were actually caught. Luckily, it wasn't supposed to be like this. They had a cell phone check-in at the Hollywood Bowl because Dave Chappelle said he wanted a phone-free experience. So there's really only like 2 videos of this because
they were
people
able to get
snuck their phones in. But so the guy goes up to tackle him. Misses.
Wait. Huh? Does that mean this is a butt phone?
It might be.
Oh,
Good thing we can't smell through the TV screen. But so the guy goes up to tackle him. Basically misses, goes to run away, but where does he run? Not back through the crowd, to back fucking stage.
Where there's only staff working.
Staff and security. Dave Chappelle's security team beat the shit out of this guy.
I believe they showed a picture here.
If you scroll forward, find where that picture comes up. He got taken away on a stretcher because where he said he's back there getting stomped. That was
Is that an arm that's backwards?
I don't know.
That looks like a bent backward elbow.
But they beat the shit out of him. And I love his response is because apparently the guy ran up at him because of his trans jokes.
Apparently he's transgender.
Well, because I don't think
he's
actually
a she.
I don't think he actually is.
I think Dave Chappelle.
I think Dave Chappelle.
No, because I did see a report that said that they believe it actually was.
Oh, what? Oh, I can't speak on that. All I know is I thought his reaction was great. How he's still gonna. You can't stop him from. He's a comedian. He's gonna say what he wants to say.
If you're gonna take a shot at the king, you better not miss.
And he fucking missed. So
by a long shot.
And then I love Chris Rock coming out and going, "Was that Will Smith?"
that was pretty good.
But yes, so that happened at the Hollywood Bowl, and interestingly enough, the fans at the Hollywood Bowl are in support of Dave Chappelle. Like, there was all that stuff going on about, like, oh, he's going to lose so many fans. And every show he's done since that whole controversy has still sold out just as fast as anything else.
Speaking of huge comedians and controversies and stuff, you remember Joe Rogan? A left-wing political activist group put together a montage of every single time Joe Rogan had said the N-word. And it's completely out of context, just the word, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the media pushed a big campaign about how Joe Rogan is a dog whistle for the far alt-right and how everybody listens as a Nazi, that kind of crap. And then they thought it was going to hurt his stuff all over. And he now has 2 million more active listeners than before. He does.
I think Shapiro said something about that as well, where like somebody did like a coverage on him and he went up like 500,000 followers or something like that.
It was probably when he read the lyrics to WAP.
I don't know. I know that
wet ass P word.
I know that him doing the reactions to the woke TikToks are skyrocketing.
They're hilarious.
Oh dear God!
because he knows his audience, and his audience knows that he's being sarcastic. But he does his sarcasm with a straight face, and it's gold.
All right, well, we're going to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen, and when we come back, more about Netflix. We might have some disturbing news right after this. And now a word from our sponsor. This episode of Truffle Shuffle Podcast is brought to you by Truffle Shuffle Podcast. Oh, that's right. Your hearing is working just fine. Not only can you now hear our silky smooth voices, but you can also wear us. And everything in between. Head on over to TruffleShufflePodcastMerch.com. Yes, I know it's long, but it's worth it. TruffleShufflePodcastMerch.com. Be sure to check back frequently because we will be updating items, eventually, with our faces. The perfect gift for anyone, including scaring your grandma. TruffleShufflePodcastMerch.com.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment below the video, hit that bell notification, and please don't kill yourself after this.
What the fuck? Okay, so some controversial news that's been rumored for years, but now it's closer than ever.
What do you mean controversial rumors?
How many, not about you.
How controversial?
How many streaming sites are out there now?
You got Disney Plus, Netflix, Spotify, YouTube,
Hulu,
Amazon Prime. You've got
Peacock,
Discover Plus.
You've just got, so it's growing exponentially.
Over a dozen.
Netflix started everything, and what's the one thing that always set Netflix apart?
Blockbuster.
No, God damn it, no. Netflix might be adding commercials. Now, this is what they're thinking. So,
hold on, wait. I already paid $20 a month.
Netflix is one of the most expensive streaming sites out there right now. Did you just say 20? I thought it was like 16 for. Do you have the bigger plan?
I have the bigger plan, so 4, 5, I think up to 6 devices at a single time can watch.
Okay, so we have the one that only allows 2.
Because I may or may not be sharing my password.
You have a family too. But it's like, we have the basic one that used to be like, I don't know, what was it? $7 or whatever.
$6.99.
$6.99. Now it's up to like $16, $17. You can have multiple accounts, but you can only, or multiple profiles, I should say, but you can only have 2 people watching at the same time.
Yeah,
then they also keep saying that people are having too many accounts on Netflix. And we're like, you fucking let us make them. So,
but you gave us the account profiles.
But now it's always been talked about that they have been talking about commercials and all that. But now we're getting closer than ever because it says when you think of a streaming service, this is one of the articles. It's all over. When you think of a streaming service, the first one that comes to mind is Netflix. The company really started started the trend of streaming and brought on the format of binge watching with shorter seasons and longer episodes. It shaped what television and streaming landscape looks like today. One of its biggest standouts is that there are no ads and commercials to interrupt your viewing pleasure. However, after they lost 200,000 subscribers in quarter one, it expects to lose another 2 million in the second quarter. Why is this happening? There are multiple reasons, and one of them could be the subscription fee. So, we're paying 16 or 17. You're paying 20?
Wait, you only get 2 things at a time and you're paying $17 a month?
I believe that's what it is.
Just upgrade, dude.
It's not my account.
Oh, do your password sharing.
It's my family's account that I am part of the family. And then, anyway, but what they're claiming that they're going to do is they're saying they're going to add commercials for people that don't want to pay as much. Now,
okay. So as long as it doesn't go into mine.
But does that mean that they're going to throw commercials into the $17 one and not the $20 one?
Buddy, if they drop commercials into the $17 and $20 ones,
they will lose more subscribers than they ever could have imagined.
I'll tell you this. Back when Netflix started adding their own commercials for their own stuff, like at the end of movies and stuff, I got pretty darn close to hitting unsubscribe. I gave them a week to change it. They did change it to where it's just like it's only previews at the end of things and not in the middle. There was a time when it would show up, you'd hit play, and it would give you an ad. It would give you their promotion for a different thing, and then it would play your video.
And you couldn't skip it?
And you couldn't skip it.
I see. That must have been so short-lived.
It was like a week.
I don't even remember that happening.
And so I was this close to just cutting out Netflix, being done, and then I gave it a week. They said they weren't going to do it, or they stopped doing it, or they changed it, updated something.
Well,
but if a single advertisement where it comes up and says ad, or they interrupt my show, or they put an ad in between episodes on my binge watching, I will cancel it immediately.
The thing that killed cable is that their prices kept going up, and yet you still had to watch advertisements.
Yes.
What's the point of paying if you have to still watch stuff that they're getting paid for?
So you can pay to watch 2 million channels and
know.
see 2 million ads.
Even though you're actually only watching 2 channels on repeat.
Right.
But that's one of the main things that killed off cable is their prices, advertisements, all that. These streaming sites, now that they're the new thing. Do you know anybody with cable anymore? I don't. Everybody I know has gotten rid of cable.
I feel like my mom pays for Xfinity.
All I know is that my family, whenever they got rid of cable, they were paying $130 a month.
Say that again for the people in the back. $130 fucking dollars
right, you don't
for
need
cable.
to deep throat the microphone, Dylan.
Don't tell me what to.
But they're paying so much money for it. And then my mom called the company and said, you're offering all these special rates for new people. They're like, I've been with you for like this many years.
A decade and
whatever. And they're like, what about us? And they're like, oh no, it's only for new people. And she went, all right, well, go ahead and cancel us then. And the lady went, what?
Huh?
Well, why?
Why?
And mom was like, we've got all the streaming sites. We don't need you guys. And so they finally got rid of it. But now I do prefer the streaming sites over cable because at least then you can pick and choose what you want. Like if you don't want every streaming site, you don't need to get every streaming site. You can just get whatever ones. But they are getting more and more expensive as we go on. And everybody knows that they're going to go up a little bit. But that only lasts for so long. Like Disney started at $6.99. A year later, it's at $7.99. It's going to go up probably $1 a year for multiple years, but once it hits a certain spot, people will start backing off because the more that you up it, they're just going to end up dropping as time goes on.
Magic door, it opened up.
But anyway, you said you had.
I have the next thing. Speaking of prices going up.
Oh, well, hold on. Before we jump over, so the final statement is that if an advertisement shows up on Netflix, it's
single
gone.
advertisement shows up, Netflix, you're gone.
All right, so we are 29 minutes into this, and I want to know if anybody has actually listened this far in. If you have an opinion on the Netflix thing, put that comment in there because we want to see how many people would. If Netflix starts doing advertisements, we're gonna get rid of it too.
I love it how we had this conversation right after we had our advertisement.
You have a story. Moving on. All right, what's next?
TruffleShufflePodcastMerch.com. Use
but
the
people
code
aren't
anyways.
people aren't paying for us. So,
Oh yeah, that's right. We're free service.
we are free entertainment.
Anyways, speaking of prices going up, a former company, DP&L, Dayton Power and Light, for the Southern Ohio area. Now AES Ohio. I don't know why there's a picture of the CDC up there for some reason.
What?
Look, there's a picture of the CDC on this article.
This is about
WHIO.
Ohio energy charges. What the fuck is the disease control up there for?
It's a disease. Power is a disease.
Oh my god.
Or at least, I mean, that's what the climate activists believe. AES Ohio supplied charges to rise from 4.8 cents to more than double 10 to 10.9 cents per kilowatt hour.
You said this used to be DP&L.
This used to be DP&L.
What's AES stand for now?
I don't know. I don't actually know what AES stands for. It's just AES.
So this is your water and power company.
My power is about to go from my electric and heating bill each month is roughly $240 combined. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In the summer, my heating
you've got a full house and family, right. So
in the summer, my electric bill is like $180, and my gas bill is like $60. In the winter, it switches. It's switched. Okay, so now that we're getting ready to ditch our boiler entirely and go completely electric for heating and cooling,
you might have to rethink that.
Great timing. They are now almost tripling what I pay per kilowatt hour. So after all the delivery charges and all that jazz, it says do not impact the delivery charges for now.
What do you mean delivery charges? For them to give you the power?
Have you ever looked at a power readout?
Yeah, they always have the stupidest fucking stuff.
So 4.8 cents to 10.9 cents, which is like 2.5 times. So now my bill is going to be like an extra $80 to $100 a month. So, yay!
This is what I don't get about people freak out about all this random shit, but they completely ignore the stuff that's happening in front of them. And it doesn't cause a problem. Everybody's pushing for, we need higher pay. It's not going to do a fucking thing if inflation don't stop. Because the moment that company has to pay their employees more, they bump up their prices so that the consumer pays for that. The company's not going to lose a dime. It goes like that everywhere.
It's time we abolish the federal government.
All right, hold up.
And we go back to bartering with pigs and chickens.
I wouldn't mind if we brought back legalized dueling.
Yeah,
that would be fine.
Okay.
Slap somebody with a glove, and then if you accept, somebody's got to go.
Speaking of dueling, do we, in a duel, do we allow to the death, or do we do mutual combat? Once you hit the ground, you're down.
I think you can agree.
Okay, you can agree to terms before.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you can agree to terms before.
And there need to be at least 2 witnesses.
It's just like Hamilton, have a doctor turn around. So he can have a deniability.
You can use firearms. You can use
Well, it's supposed to be if you challenge, it's supposed to be the receiving end gets to pick
the terms.
Gets to pick the terms, or at least gets to pick the weapon.
Right.
But then it's like if somebody wants to back out, then they have to admit.
You can go
defeat.
fisticuffs. You can do swords. You can do butterfly knives.
Mm-hmm.
You could do the Indiana Jones style, where the guy's just flipping his sword around.
If somebody challenged me to a duel, I would say to the death. And I want my weapon to be those plastic lightsabers from the 90s.
Just beat the shit out of
Just
each
those
other.
really hard plastic ones that when we were kids, we used to really fuck each other up. And they're like, wait, did you say to the death? I'm like, oh, it's going to take a while. So bring some popcorn, motherfucker. Let's do this. That would be my duel. I'd be like, let's go.
To the death. My weapon of choice? Bad jokes.
I want to bring foam swords.
Why
to
did the
death.
dog cross the road? Bark.
I just kill myself to get it over with.
Boom.
But no, I think it would be. I don't know. There's something about the idea of dueling. First off, I think there's too many people here. So
and you're allowed to back out at any time. That's also a stipulation.
yes, but you would have to surrender.
You would have to straight up surrender.
So it would be a but that also would have to be a rule is that if someone surrenders, you can't keep going.
It would right. Oh, of course. It's mutual combat rules. Once you're down, you're done.
Yes.
It's like there are states that have mutual combat, and I think a police officer has to be available or has to spectate.
See, if we did a duel with those lightsabers, as soon as one hits my knuckle, I'm out. I give up.
You just drop it. Oh, God damn it, you win. I'm done. You win. I'm sorry.
I surrender. God, that fucking hurt. No, you know what? A duel to the death with razor scooters. Shin hints only.
Hence.
Hits. Shin splints only.
Whack! Say goodbye to those calves.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
Okay, how the fuck did we get on that?
Because dueling, well, it would definitely change the culture in the world to nut up or shut up.
Yeah. And I think you should also be able to challenge people online.
Do a duel.
Somebody went from Taiwan comments on your thing says like, you're a pussy. It's like, I challenge you to a duel, sir. What? Arizona at high noon.
Just the whole state.
Just the whole fucking find me.
Hide and seek rules.
Hide and seek rules to the death.
If you find me before sundown, I die. If you don't find me before sundown, well, you'll have to do it yourself.
We both die. Oh, God. All right, well, let's move on to something a little bit more local here in the Ohio area.
That was the local.
Oh, well, then we got on dueling, and that
Right.
went worldwide.
Let's go to
I-75.
Clown World. Oh, okay. Never mind.
I-75,
What happened?
a major highway that runs through Ohio right here. You don't know the full story, do you?
I know that traffic was real bad.
Yes, indeed it was, because somebody got fucking shot. That's why it's bad.
Road rage.
No, so this is what I only read the story the other day when it actually happened. So if details have changed or if like new things have come out about it, then, you know, things could be updated. But on the day that it actually happened, it was about 5:45 in the morning. I want to say, was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I want to say it was Wednesday.
I think it was Wednesday because I had to take Oliver to the dentist.
Because I was working at the schools and we were all talking about it.
Downtown Dayton.
Ooh.
I had to go the back road.
But so at about 5:45 in the morning, there was a rather, from what I heard, a rather bad car crash on I-75 going through Moraine.
Right.
Car was flipped over, all that kind of stuff. Police arrive on the scene. The person in the crash pulls a gun on the cops.
Wait, what?
The cops show up to the crash site
To help.
to do what they do.
To do their job.
And he pulls, I don't whenever the story came out, there was still no reason as to why he did.
Do you have an article for this?
It was just on the news the other day. Go ahead and see what you can find. I'll keep telling. But it was, he pulls a gun on the cops. There's a standoff. He's pointing the gun at them. I don't know how many times they said, drop the weapon, drop the weapon, drop the weapon. I don't know what happened. Some shit goes down. He's shot by the cops.
All right.
And then, oh, here we go.
From the police chief. Man shot, killed by police, pointed gun at officers after crash on I-75 in Moraine.
Yes. All right. So look at your screens. We have the article pulled
Do you want to
up.
read it?
Yeah, hold on. Let me
He's
just
gonna put on his old man
put
glasses.
on my glasses here. Let me see. All right. So this was May the 4th. Happy Star Wars Day, everybody.
Happy Star Wars
I
Day.
just wanted a nice nerdy day, and shit went down. Moraine. A man is dead after he was shot by officers after a crash on northbound I-75 in Moraine Wednesday morning, according to the Moraine police. The incident was first reported as a crash involving multiple vehicles, including one that overturned on northbound I-75 near the Dryden Road exit at about 5:45 a.m. Second vehicle came to rest in a ditch. The driver of the car in the ditch called police to report the crash. Excuse me. This is a quote. He said, I was in the slow lane coming up on Dryden Road exit. Someone hit me, and I went down into the ditch. Took a sign. Took a sign?
He had a sign.
Oh.
Took a sign with him.
He took a sign with him. Okay. The driver said in the 911 call, I can see a car on its top in the middle of the highway. The driver said he was driving a silver Chevrolet Malibu, and he took out a sign and hit the embankment wall. It's a very, very, very bad crash, the driver said.
Was it Donald Trump? It was a very, very, very bad crash.
It was a fantastic crash. Absolutely fantastic.
Glorious. The gunfight,
It could,
fantastic
it
as
could
well.
get bigger. It could not. It could stay the same. But we are very prepared either way.
Or so I've been told.
All right, moving on. Jesus Christ. Police Chief Craig... I thought it said Craig Robinson. I was like, Daryl? Craig Richardson said that the officers checked on the man in the car on its top once, but when paramedics arrived, they went back to his car and he was pointing a gun at them. Police later said it was a .44 caliber handgun.
Because that's an important information.
Richardson said that the officers checked with troopers on the scene to see if there was a less lethal option available, but determined there was not one immediately available.
Right.
Officers spent 5 minutes trying to de-escalate the situation, gave 41 commands to the man to drop the weapon.
I would give him one.
This is what's amazing. How do you give someone 41 chances to not shoot you?
Hold on. I'm picturing it one of two ways. He's either on his stomach on the roof of the car, like this, with his laying down, arms out, right?
Is he still upside down in the car, buckled in with a gun? Like, come here, motherfucker!
Buckled in, upside down, just hanging from the car.
Oh my god!
Gun in hand, and that they might have seen it as a leverage thing. Like, what's he gonna do? He ain't gonna do it. He ain't got the balls.
5 minutes of saying drop the weapon 41 times. And they offered at least 3 times to get the man help. The man did not obey commands from the officers. Richardson said that the officers fired their service weapons after one officer heard the man appearing...
Oh, I guess if it wasn't cocked back, if it's a revolver, because it sounded like a revolver.
It says, after one officer heard the man appearing to pull the hammer back on the weapon. So he pulls that shit back, and they... fire 9 shots.
Elijah Isham.
Moraine police identified the man as Elijah Isham, 27. He was taken to an area hospital where he later died. His cause and manner of death are under investigation. Well, he got shot.
My wife talked about this thing, right?
But
here. There's another article that said shooting victim walked into Dayton Children's Hospital.
Oh.
My wife works at Dayton Children's, and it was she was talking about how they have all these different like codes and stuff for different scenarios. And she was talking about like, we almost had a code, whatever. And then because a guy walked in bleeding with a gunshot, she's like, yeah, somebody just walked into work
Jesus. But see, if you keep reading this article, so this is what's kind of upsetting. It says Richardson, the chief, said that the 2 officers involved, and it gives their names, and it says both officers are on paid administrative leave pending an investigation. They gave him 41 chances.
Well, I mean, that's your standard protocol.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that was something like,
if it had said disciplinary,
okay,
discharge, but yeah, they're just on leave.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fair. Then it says after the shooting, an investigation revealed that the gun in Islam's possession was not loaded.
Here's a picture.
Oh, okay. There's a photo of the crash on I-75. Oh, it's right up by the crane flag.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what that's at.
I would say, in this picture, I noticed the flag with this crane is known for always having an American flag.
It's got a huge one up there.
And
it doesn't.
it's
The
got
picture
a
doesn't do it
Ukraine
justice.
flag right below it. At what point do we stop flying the Ukraine flag?
And actually help them.
Well, and either actually help them or say, "This is not our war. We can support you from afar."
America never says it's not our war.
What the thing is why are we allowed to show patriotism for other countries, but not for
Not
America?
our own. Because we're a bunch of
we're
fucking
not.
stupid.
We're allowed to cheer on other nationalists, but we're not allowed to be nationalists ourselves.
Oh, we don't want to go down to that rabbit hole right now.
Not today.
So
we'll go down a different hole. The AP has instructed journalists.
Well, hold on. We gotta finish up on that crash thing there. So,
all
what
right,
the hell?
Hold up.
You gave him 41 chances, and he's still got a gun. I didn't see anywhere in that article where it actually mentioned why he pulled a fucking weapon on him.
I mean, you're never gonna find out if he didn't.
Well, no, he died.
What are you gonna do? Ask him?
Now I'm thinking it's his fault for the crash.
The person said that he hit him.
So he caused the crash. So there's a couple options here. It could be he has a criminal record.
He does for assault and resisting arrest.
Oh wait, where's that at?
And he
go ahead and read.
Hisham's license and plates were on his vehicle registered in Oregon. He said he was arrested in Colorado in April for assault and resisting arrest. He also had a protection order in effect against him out of Colorado.
Huh.
Yep. So,
all right. Well, so
I think he was, if he's caught with a gun, because having an assault charge is a
misdemeanor.
I'm pretty sure it's a felony.
Oh, it's a felony.
Which means you're not allowed to have a gun. You're not allowed to be in possession of a firearm.
Yeah, so, take the gun and then point it at the cops. That's really going to help.
Well, I mean, if they arrested him and found the gun or if they found him and saw he had a gun on him, then they'd have they'd have cause to arrest him too.
Or a gun in the car.
Yeah. So.
I don't know. So, well, when we were talking about this at the school, where like he either was running from something or he could have been, who knows, I don't know if the autopsies come out, could have been drugged up, could have been on anything, I don't know, who knows. See, the pictures don't actually make it look, I mean, it's bad. Car's upside down.
It's bad.
But I mean, there's not as many cars involved as I thought there was going to be.
Yeah, you picture a pileup of some
Yes,
sort.
I was thinking like a 5-car pileup or something like that, but it was really just 2 cars.
Oh, is that a Civic hatchback? What a shame.
I don't know. But yeah, no, traffic was just dead stand for like hours up there. And now we know why.
Now we know why.
So we are now 48 minutes into this. If you've listened this far, if you
Buckle
point
up.
a gun at an officer and they tell you to drop it 41 times, do you think they can shoot you? Leave a comment below, because I think they fucking can.
After 5, I think the jury's out on it.
After 1...
I would personally give them 1.
Oh God, I don't even know if it's like my house and somebody's coming in. I don't know if I give them 1.
Yeah.
It's I sit in the darkness and I say cross a threshold,
Walk into my house.
fall forward. If you fall backwards, drag them in. All right,
In
let's
other
move on.
news,
Let's move on to the next
The
one.
Associated Press has updated its style guide for the use of the term pregnant people on Wednesday following the leaked Supreme Court draft opinion on Roe v. Wade.
Fuck
So
off. My God.
Men cannot get pregnant.
Uh,
If you get pregnant, you were or at one time were a woman.
there's a knock on the door. Mr. Wheeler, we have a warrant for your arrest.
Take me away for speaking the truth.
Wait, so now you're not allowed to say a pregnant woman? You have to say pregnant people?
Well, the thing is a month ago they were screaming gender neutral terms, and then the new Supreme Court justice was asked, "What is a woman?" She goes, "I don't know. I'm not a biologist." So now all of a sudden that's all out the window, and people are saying women's rights, and then you turn around on it and be like, "But I thought men could get pregnant too." So now the AP
Hypocrisy in the world is just it's like, why can't we just... Here's the thing. People, be what you're going to want to be, right? I'm going to sleep like a baby at night no matter what. But stop shoving it down everyone's throat. If you just be what you are, nobody gives a shit. But there's all these people that think that they are this or they are that, and they're like, that makes us special or more important. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Everybody's got their own problems.
There's the idea of everything today now is consent and validation. If you don't feel validated, that means it's somebody else's fault and not yours.
Well, I mean, I work in musical theater. Hello? So
and we do not approve.
I don't work I don't work with a lot of straight people. I work with a very mixed group of people. I don't give a shit what anybody is. I've got some great friends in shows that are gay. I don't care what you do behind your own doors, but am I going to drag you through the mud just like I do everybody else? Absolutely I will. And every
on
time
public TV.
Jesus Christ, no.
You know who you are.
But whenever I joke with like my different co-stars and all that stuff, I rip on them just like I do anyone else, and everybody finds it funny because we are who we are. When you pretend it doesn't exist, or whenever you pretend that one is higher or lower than the other, just be a fucking person.
You know, Dylan, in order to have co-stars, you yourself have to be a co-star. You side character.
I steal the fucking show.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, even
Cogsworth.
you said you saw Music Man and you were like, "Oh, that's a very good show."
I said it was a pretty good show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
But I also said I liked the mayor more.
Oh, Ed's fantastic.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
He's great.
If you're listening to this, you are fantastic.
Yes, Ed Iverson at Lock Media Dinner Theater. You're doing a great job. This is Dylan, by the way, in case you forgot.
This is Dylan, by the way, with the smooth, buttery voice.
He will be playing Maurice in the upcoming Beauty and the Beast, and he's going to kill the role.
Is he going to do the original Maurice or like the new
Kevin Kline one? Oh no,
serious Maurice.
The musical should be based off of the animated film, so he should be the kooky.
You're gonna go with us, right? To go see it?
I'll probably go with her family
and us.
Well, no, when I go with her family, we get the VIP table. Dead
so let
center.
Us join.
Nah,
bro.
But
we love Allison too. Okay, you don't get to keep her to yourself.
I think that's strictly what I do get to do, actually. But no, he's gonna play. Like it should be the whole. She comes in like, Father, do you think I'm odd? And he should be like, my daughter odd? Where would you get an idea like that?
All right,
so yeah. Anyway, so moving on
back
to pregnant people.
So what the AP put out was said pregnant people. Phrasing like pregnant people or people who seek an abortion seeks to include people who have those experiences but do not identify as women, such as some transgender men and some non-binary people. Such phrasing should be confined to stories that specifically address the experiences of people who do not identify as women. And then there's a tweet from Tim Young, who is a political comedian Dylan is headbutting his microphone right now
What the
because
fuck
the wall is too far away.
What the fuck is going on?
He says,
Okay.
Gavin Newsom just said, if men could get pregnant, this wouldn't even be a conversation. This level of transphobic hate
Hold up, back up. Let me put on my glasses so I can read this shit. What was that?
He says he's a conservative political comedian. Okay.
Wait, Tim Young is?
Yes, Tim Young is. Gavin Newsom is the governor of California.
Oh, yes.
Right,
We know
so
who
Gavin
that is.
Newsom, who is supposed to be woke and everything and use gender-neutral terms, said, if men could get pregnant, this wouldn't even be a conversation. So he flipped it around on him and said, this level of transphobic hate should not be tolerated. I'm literally shaking right now.
I'm shaking in my little space boots. Oh, my God. Oh, boy. There's Ben Shapiro. The AP trying to explain why when it's writing about abortion, the story is about women, but when it's writing about transgenderism, the story is about pregnant people.
You know.
Oh, God.
We're only partially erasing women depending on the political context of our writing.
Oh, God. I don't get it.
Oh.
Pregnant.
Then we also have the Kansas legislature upholds a governor veto of the transgender sports bill, which was supposed to keep biological males in men's sports and biological females in women's sports. You know, because there's an unfair advantage to someone who's been male their entire life and then all of a sudden decides to be a woman.
Well, wait, what, you gonna have like a 6'4" dude switch sides and go play for the WNBA? And then they're like, oh my God, she's breaking records. No fucking shit.
Somebody might actually watch the WNBA then.
Okay, see, now.
Admit it, Dylan. I mean, I don't even watch the NBA.
I don't care about sports.
I don't even know any of the WNBA teams.
But I'm sure I've mentioned it before, and I'm sure I'll mention again. I do know that, I don't know their names, but I know that there was at least one lightweight MMA fighter that this is like the first story that I heard about like this transgender.
Are you talking about the fight with?
It was a guy who became a woman, and then he started fighting women in the MMA, and he broke he cracked like 3 women's skulls.
Oh, I remember the name too.
Because he was considered a lightweight, and they were like, oh, she's shattering records and all that. I'm like, he's crippling women. Is what he's doing.
Fallon Fox. It was Fallon Fox.
Yes.
Was a male to female or man to woman transition MMA fighter, and her first couple fights, the opponents didn't know.
They didn't know.
They didn't know.
That it used to be a man?
Now, the next several fights, they did know. But if you don't know, that's a big issue. But
also, it's a guy that wasn't winning in his division.
So he swapped.
So he switched, and now he's broke her opponent's skull. Now, is this both the same person?
Yeah, this was back in 2014. I think that's the same person.
Or is that him on the left, and then the one that broke the skull on the right? Or is that just...
I think that's the same person.
That's the same person. Okay. I can't tell. That's what's throwing me off.
Dylan is very confused over here.
I'm being honest. It says transgender MMA fighter Fallon. Is it Fallon?
Fallon Fox.
Fallon Fox beat her female opponent Tamika Brents so severely that she suffered a broken skull.
Yeah. It was pretty big.
It was Bill Burr was talking about it too. He's like, that is a dickless dude beating the shit out of a woman. But it's like, I don't understand how people don't see a problem with this. It's like, I don't care what you identify as, but whenever you switch over and you start breaking women's skulls because biologically you were a man and you've got those strengths that women don't have and all that stuff, I don't understand how people can ever see that and be like, oh, she's an inspiration. I'm like, she is severely injuring people.
Yep.
Because she couldn't win in her own category.
The whole point of Title IX was so that men and women would have separate sport categories. Because there is no rule that says women can't be in men's sports and men can't be in women's sports. But it was always a staple that you needed to have the separate categories, right?
That's why also in their own category they have heavyweight and lightweight.
Right. It's because it's unfair. If you throw Mike Tyson in a ring with like the heavyweight
Carol Channing
with the lightweight champion or the featherweight champion, he would win with one punch because he has so much meat behind those guns.
Well, but I mean, even just like with the whole man and woman thing, it's like, look at my girlfriend. She's 5 foot. Now, I'm 5'10", but still, you put us in a fight, it's like no matter how good of a fighter is, and how good of a fighter she is.
Dylan's talking about beating his girlfriend.
No, I'm using this as an example. I'm like, you put a 5'10" guy in there with a 5 foot girl, which one's gonna win? Now, I'm not saying that some women who train for this, they beat the shit out of me. Okay, there's some strong damn women in these sports and all that stuff.
Ronda Rousey, if you're out there listening,
or who was the girl in the Mandalorian? Gina
Carano.
She beat the fuck out of me. Have you seen?
You'd let her beat the fuck out of you.
Probably.
I'd say, please hit me harder. harder, Daddy.
Please, sir, can I have some more? But no, I don't. It's just. But then it's whenever they say that it's like empowering and all that, and I'm like, I really don't think. I don't know, because it's like then they win all these awards and championships,
and they're erasing women,
and it takes it away from the women that have been training all those years.
Men are so good at everything that we're even better at women's things. I mean, look at Times People of the Year, or
when it was Caitlyn Jenner.
Or you got Caitlyn Jenner, and then
she wasn't even a woman for a year.
Well, it was maybe Washington Post put out their like top 10 women of the year, and like the top 4 were all men. One of them was the
Jeopardy one. Was it the Jeopardy one?
Oh, the Jeopardy winner or whatever. And then there's the hold on.
They said it was like the first Jeopardy woman to like pass $1 million, and we're like, it was a dude.
It was a dude. I don't know. It was
like we said, not safe for work. This is going to be controversial, but it's current events, and sadly, this is the shit that's going on around us.
Yeah.
Now, some episodes are more lighthearted than this one, but it's been a very depressing week when it comes to current events.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Don't forget to head on over to our page because I just switched over to it by accident. Don't forget to also follow us on Twitter. I might reinstall Twitter back on my phone because Elon Musk now has it.
I got rid of it a long time ago. I might get it back.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Well, that's all the current events I have.
Yeah.
This was a fucked up episode.
It sure was.
Usually we like to end on a happy note, and we just end on this. Yep.
Yeah.
We
don't know how to end it without Clay's shenanigans.
I know how to end it without Clay.
Are you gonna tell me, or you're gonna let it stew?
Oh no, we gotta let this stew here for a minute. Clay, if you're listening, just remember, if your age ain't on the clock, you can get the. Welcome to the Truffle Shuffle Podcast. I'm Dylan. I'm Clay.
And I'm a dumbass.
Real opening?
Money.
You serious? You serious?
Okay, why am I being attacked like this?
That's right, Alaric. You tell him. There's ramen on the pool table.
Oh yeah.
Quattro.